you guys get in here before I grab the phone and touch it. It is a nasty day. Of course, I knew it would be because they really chemtrailed hard yesterday. They just haze the entire sky, thick as thick could be. It's Saturday, 2:30. I don't know where everybody's at today. Probably not here on my stream, because even on Fridays at 5 o'clock, ain't nobody here on my stream. Give you guys a minute to get in. If you come in, say hello so I know who's here, so I can identify the bots, the trolls. There's always more trolls than there are subscribers. I also looked at my ratio. 55% of that watch are subscribers and 45% are not. That means almost half of you do not subscribe to the channel, and that kind of hurts the channel, because I mean they're not going to let my channel grow, but it'd be nice if you guys would. What was this in my Bronco? So now I can't go down the road loud, but just another day in my neighborhood as a targeted individual. These drones are really starting to get the attention they deserve. Donald Trump demands the Biden administration that I had a lot of important news today. Trump demands that Biden take action against the drones in New Jersey to shoot them out of the sky. Now, I know that the feds are running the drones. I know that. Why do I know that? Because they're getting ready to fake an alien invasion. It's like I've been telling you for years. This is declassified from the early 80s when Ronald Reagan said, "Wouldn't it be wonderful if an alien invasion happened, then the whole world could combine together as one world government to destroy the aliens." That was Reagan, the right's sacrificial mule, the one that did more damage to America than most have done. He's the one that started the unsolicited invasion of America. Reagan was responsible for that. So if your mom and dad are boomers like mine and they worship and praise Ronald Reagan, goodness gracious, you diversity hire with a cell phone in her hand texting about to hit me in my truck would not be good. Hello, Zoloft. Ronald Reagan is responsible for what's happening in America. He's responsible because he gave millions of illegal aliens amnesty. Why would he do that? For all the bigwigs and corporations on the right who wanted that cheap labor, and that is another reason why wages have not grown with the standard of living. Wages are stagnant. Wages increased more under Donald Trump than any other president. A lot of people don't know that stat. There's a lot of stats that nobody knows because the media doesn't tell them. They don't search out the information, because if it's bad, they get to hear it. But if it's good news about Donald Trump, then they avoid it like the plague, because they just assume there can't be anything good. So Trump demands that Biden administration either shoot these drones down or tell us what's going on. And at the same time, Biden, if you seen my post yesterday, Biden is selling the border wall that's already been paid for. It's sitting at the wall to put the wall up. He's selling it pennies on top of thousands of dollars. He's selling the wall away, so Donald Trump has to start all over. Listen, giving aid and comfort to the enemy is the definition of treason. We're going to let this man pardon his way out of treason. This pardoning stuff, I can understand why it is there, because the unlawful and unconstitutional targeting of Trump's cabinet, when lawyers are being arrested and put into prison for being a lawyer, that's a problem. But Joe Biden, what he's done is he and his son sold out the American people to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. So he just pardons his son. Well, along with those pardons, he pardoned a Chinese man who had millions of images of child porn on his devices. Joe Biden pardoned him. Joe Biden also pardoned the judges who had I think it's in Ohio, 2 judges took it upon themselves to help shut down a youth facility. At the time they shut down this youth facility, they opened their friends opened a private youth facility, and then they commenced to filling it up with thousands of innocent young men and women, teenagers. These judges filled this private prison up because they get federal grants full of prisoners that did not belong in prison. Kids that did not deserve to be put behind bars. Several of the kids committed suicide because 12 years old and you're looking at 5 years in a penal institution for not committing a violent crime, just being a dumb kid. Joe Biden pardoned him yesterday. It's egregious. It is absolutely egregious. And here's the problem. All these people now, and Trump pardoned like 147 people when he left office. One was Dinesh D'Souza, who didn't commit a crime either. He was a victim of Obama's attack on free speech. But 147 people he pardoned, and a lot of them were righteous pardons, like a black woman who was put into prison, first-time drug offender, and she got 25 years, and Donald Trump said, this is unfair. That helped him mold the First Step Act. A lot of people don't know about the First Step Act, that where people got sometimes life sentences for first-time crimes because of Joe Biden's crime bill in the 90s that incarcerated millions and millions of black men who deserved punishment but didn't deserve 20 years in prison. And it goes to show when Hunter Biden is on video on his laptop, many videos, trafficking women, trafficking underage girls, smoking crack cocaine, committing all kinds of crimes, he just gets, the FBI stalled so much till the statute of limitations run out, and then once the statute of limitations did not run out, Joe Biden just signed off on a pardon. Joe Biden will also be pardoning Fauci, who's responsible for millions of deaths. He's also going to pardon Mayorkas. He's going to pardon most of his cabinet that have committed crimes. Mayorkas is guilty of treason. He's guilty of contempt for lying to Congress. Joe Biden's just going to pardon everybody. Total so far is 1,400 people that Joe Biden is going to pardon. 1,400. Now you may ask, why would he pardon so many? Because when Trump gets in, Trump's going to pardon the victims of the January 6th false flag. So he's justified in those pardons with his pardons. The IG, the Investigator General, I guess he's considered. Donald Trump should have fired him his first term, but he let this guy in there because the guy says, I'm equal, I'm in the middle, I don't pick sides. When Robert Mueller's team that was researching going into Trump, trying to get him for collusion with Russia, they all wiped their phones as soon as the investigation was over. They wiped them clean. Not a figment of imagination left on those phones showing them colluding to take down a sitting president. They erased it all. The IG found nothing wrong with that. The IG found nothing wrong with Peter Strzok and Lisa Page with their insurance plan of, locking President Trump up for trying to do his job. Didn't find nothing wrong with all that. Trump should have fired him. When Trump took office first time, he should have fired everybody and started over. This same IG came out last week with his report about the January 6th events. By the way, the January 6th events were Benny Johnson, the leader of the committee, the far left committee, erased all the interviews with suspects and witnesses, erased all the evidence of the crimes and non-crimes and the exonerations, Benny Johnson erased everything. The top secret things he wasn't allowed to erase, he put under lock and key with 2 or 3 encrypted passwords, and he refuses to give out that password. The IG found that 26 FBI informants were at the Capitol dressed as Trump supporters. Now that's what the IG says. Representative Higgins, who's from Louisiana, who's a former sheriff, spent 30 years in law enforcement. According to him, in his investigation into January 6th, they found, well, his words exactly are, well over 200 FBI agents, confidential sources, and snitches in and around the Capitol on January 6th. You see, the American public are so dumb, they think that you can just walk up to the door of the White House, knock the window out, and jiggle the lock, and everything's going to be fine. That happened. I'm sorry you're not catching my words. I'm saying it as loud as I can. Many people say that just to troll me. But at the White House, they have the doors, they have airlocks on the doors. They push a button and big steel bars run through the doors and run through the walls to lock it up. I don't know if you saw the pictures of the aftermath, but one way the White House, the tunnels of the White House are designed, it's a labyrinth. And if you don't know your way around the labyrinth, you will literally walk around in circles. Somehow, these genius Trump supporters found their way directly to Nancy Pelosi's office and ransacked it. Now, they have on video men in Trump hats and Trump shirts ransacking Nancy Pelosi's office. Men. Not one man, to my knowledge, that has been arrested was on video ransacking Nancy Pelosi's office. Not one man has been convicted of breaching the Capitol. Not one man has been convicted that was on tape in Nancy Pelosi's office flipping it. What does that mean? It means exactly what I told you the day after it happened. I said it's a false flag. They're going to go in there, the feds are going to trash the place, and then they're going to invite dumb Trump supporters to come, and they're going to blame it on them. They're called agent provocateurs. Agent provocateurs, and that's what happened. The whole thing was a setup. I shared a video the other week on my channel where the mainstream media, who was ordered to be there by Nancy Pelosi, that on her payroll, they put them at certain spots, and their job was to record certain actions. So they set up a scene where supposedly that cops were getting beaten. So they showed a man in a Trump supporter, hat and shirt, acting like he's hitting a cop. Well, it was a cop assaulting a cop. It's like they had another scene set up where a man, a Trump supporter, was behind a photographer who was videoing supposed pepper spray being blasted over the crowd. It's all set up. The whole thing was a setup. I mean, an insurrection with the most heavily armed public in the world, and the guys forgot their guns. What many people don't know is no one died on January 6th. No officers died on January 6th. Now, several did pass away after January 6th to like suicide, and another one just had a massive heart attack out of the blue. Those guys happened to be Trump supporters in their private life. Imagine that. Ashley Babbitt died. The man that killed her, Bird, has a disciplinary file longer than my anatomy. Sorry, Gerald. I'm speaking all I can. I don't know what else to do. I'm speaking. Can you hear it? They're probably hacking my phone. So, Apparently some people are hearing it because 11 people just standing here watching me bump my gums. Thanks for telling me. So January 6th was it was a false flag, every bit of it. So Trump's going to get in there and hopefully he will pardon them as soon as possible because those people have been treated worse than the people in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. They've been not allowed to shower, not allowed to keep themselves, no haircuts, not allowed to shave because they want them to look like terrorists. They've been in horrible living conditions. A grandmother of 68 years old is spending 2.5 years in jail because she walked into the Capitol 3 hours after the Fed insurrection. And what's going to happen is everyone in the media, they're setting up a scenario that Trump's going to use lawfare. They even said yesterday, Trump used lawfare against NBC. I'll tell you that story as well. Trump's going to use lawfare. Well, there has to be justice. What they did to Trump was not justice. That was punishing him for daring to speak out, for daring to be president, for daring to not push war in every country in the world. That's why they prosecuted him. That's why they changed all the laws to try to put him in prison, to make him a felon so he could not run to be president. Now, when actual justice is coming, thanks to Kash Patel, hopefully he gets approved to be the director. Hopefully there will be justice. So the media is blowing it up. Oh, Trump's going to get revenge and it's going to be unconstitutional and blah, 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 blah. I am hopeful that something happens. Many targeted individuals for years have been saying, you know, we're gonna take this case to court. We're gonna prove the feds are stalking us, and we're gonna get paid. And that was all a false flag. Just like I told you, with targeted justice said they're gonna sue, and they've been to the Supreme Court. They ain't done nothing. Done nothing. Good news for Trump yesterday. Trump won his defamation lawsuit against George Stephanopoulos won his lawsuit against him for saying repeatedly as he was interviewing Nancy Mace, because Nancy Mace is the representative from South Carolina, a rape victim who's been very vocal about her rape, trying to change the culture when it comes to men being in women's bathrooms. As he was interviewing Nancy Mace, he kept saying, well, how can you vote for a rapist? How can you vote for Donald Trump? He's been convicted of rape. And he just said it for 30 minutes straight. Trump wasn't convicted of rape. He was convicted of sexual assault with no eyewitness testimony, no proof whatsoever, nothing at all. And he wasn't even allowed to put up a defense. The judge would not let Donald Trump put up a defense against these heinous accusations. So Trump was awarded $15 million for that. Just as the Covington kids, the boys from the Christian school who were called white supremacists, I think that kid got like $215,000. Kyle Rittenhouse suing the media, and he's getting millions right and left. The worst thing about the media is they have the best attorneys. They have law offices full of lawyers ready to defend them because information is currency. So all we can do is hope and pray that justice will come, and it will come swiftly. It's going to be a hard road to hoe. Donald Trump only has 4 years, and that's in the hopes that we're not at war. We're already at war. That we're not in literal rockets flying at us, because that's a possibility every day that rockets could be flying at us. NATO is doing everything in their power to try to get a war going so Donald Trump will come in and finish the war. Every missile that's shot off costs $1.7 million for each missile they shoot. You know how stupid that is? I watched a counter the other day where a guy he had a counter, a money counter on the top of the screen. It had a machine gun, like a 50 cal going on the side of a helicopter. And it just had the money. Bing, 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 bing. As long as it was shooting, the money was going up. And it was like 30 seconds this dude was shooting this gun, and it ended up like $800,000 for them just rattling off this freaking 50 caliber. So the war machine doesn't care. That was the main reason we gave a lot of, and we gave the majority of our ammunition to Ukraine. See, the war machine doesn't even have to, we don't even have to shoot the ammo. Just giving it to someone else, it automatically gets replenished. So they're constantly making money. And the only way we stop this is we remove the lobbies. The lobbyists, we remove them completely. The founders said this is unconstitutional, and they wiggled it in anyway. They wiggled it in anyway. So why would we even do that? Why would we even give a chance? Right? So when you have lobbyists for the war machine, lobbyists for big pharma, lobbyists for big education, then you're going to be ran all over with big pharma, big education, and the military-industrial complex. They set the standards. They grease the pole. I mean, it's open robbery. It's robbery. And there's no way the founders, I mean, they knew this was going to happen, and they made the Constitution to fight it, and the people in charge, the people we put there to represent us, get up there and vote it away. It's just like, why aren't we the ones allowed to regulate how much they make? They vote on their own raises. When the American people are starving, they vote themselves a raise. It is so insidious is the word. I'm going to sin for a minute here. God says not to take pleasure in someone else's pain. Nasty Pelosi fell down yesterday and broke her hip. That will not stop her from going back to the White House. She's running again. I think she already ran again to be there again. She's 85 years old. That's the stat they said yesterday. Nancy Pelosi's 85. I don't know if that's true, because she doesn't look 85. But why is she and Mitch McConnell and Dick Durbin and Jerry Nadler and who's that douche weasel from Texas? John, oh my gosh, if I wouldn't have thought of his name, I would have thought of his name. A Republican who voted for the red flag laws. These people should not be in office. Trump did run that he's gonna begin term limits. And that's a great thing. We're gonna lose some good senators like Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. I mean, I don't like Ted Cruz because I saw his fruits, but the majority of the time he's on the right side. And listen, I'm saying all this knowing that we're still going to be under God's wrath. I know this. We're still going to be under God's wrath. Let me see this. Let me go to this comment that probably doesn't mean anything. Pelosi is a goon trying to rationalize how anyone can find her likable. Just makes my head. It's amazing, isn't it, Outspoken? How nasty Pelosi has been there so long. And she is literally, her, Biden, Dick Durbin, Mitch McConnell, all of them have overseen the greatest transfer of wealth from the American people into their pockets. Nancy Pelosi picks better stocks than any hedge fund on the planet. Her rate of success is 98%. How do we think this is a good idea? And everybody knows it. Everyone knows she's corrupt, and no one will fight her because she has power. You see, and these people don't have power. Jake said, if you pay your way in to that committee, pay your way in to that committee. How does that make any sense? You make it to Congress, and then you have to raise money to get a committee? So where does the money go that you raise? You got to buy your way on the committee. So whose pocket does the money go to? The leader of the committee? To a thing most people don't know. Did you guys know they have a slush fund for sexual abuse on the Hill? Did you know that? It's called something like the Quiet Fund. And this was exposed 3 years ago. But there's a slush fund in Washington, D.C., where they take the money out of that account and they pay off anybody who's been sexually abused, sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, anybody that's been done wrong by Congress or the Senate. There's a slush fund and everybody pays in like a 401k. Well, not everybody. The taxpayers pay for this slush fund, and it pays these people out of criminal activities. That one, I can't remember where that one black guy is. He's tall and skinny and got not nappy hair, but he's short and straight, greasy black man. He's like in his 70s. He's had 37 allegations of sexual misconduct. And there's a slush fund that's paid out for him 37 times. Look it up, Outspoken. Look it up. This was they exposed this about 3 years ago. But it's a slush fund for pretty much criminality. It's a payoff pool, is all it is. There will never be justice for the American people. All over America right now, First Amendment auditors are being drugged through jail. There's Lane Myers in Arizona. There's Mike and Dr. Justin Spies in Kansas. Lawrence Accountability and the dreaded Rebel Rouser. They're being drugged through court. You've got the guys in Florida, Foshin with This Is a Public Service. He's in and out of court. There's the guy in New Jersey who's been drugged through court by the establishment. I'm being drugged through court because of my speech. All over America, the system said, we're tired of YouTube, and if you speak out against us on YouTube, we're going to punish you. I saw the trolls on here yesterday mentioning my body camera footage again. The body camera footage is at the lawyers. I saw it with my own eyes the other day. All I got to do is go take a disc over there and get it copied. My problem is I don't have my computer's hacked. So I talked to my daughter and said if I could put a card on hers and then I'll upload it to YouTube. But all that will be stringent. All that will be with the consent of the attorney that I have. If she thinks it's a good idea that I post it. More than likely I'm going to post it no matter what she says because I'm not happy with the counsel that's being assigned to me. Not happy at all. But that's inside baseball that nobody else needs to know. But I've fought in North Carolina courts six or seven different times and got body camera footage. Me. 6 or 7 different times. And all the trolls from Vilified Douche Weasel come over here. He was right about you. He guessed you right. You ain't gonna get that footage. I can guarantee you this, guys. I've gotten more body camera footage in the state of North Carolina than any other YouTuber out there. Me. I've done that more than any other person out there. Let me do this real. Hold on, let me put this in my pocket. So, and the people that's been on my channel for a while know that I'm just like a conspiracy theory. Research a little bit, call me in 6 months and you'll realize I was right all along. How did I know all about these drones before anybody mentioned drones in New Jersey? How was I right about that? I've come to the conclusion I'm never going to get... I know that nobody's going to credit me. The people that have watched my channel for years, they've seen every story I've told, and they've never seen a contradiction to the story I've told. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I'm a man of my word, no matter what you think. I think people are so jaded in this world now, and I didn't realize how much we had a right to be jaded until I stopped lying completely. Honey, does my butt look big in these jeans? Babe, your ass looks huge. When you make the conscious decision to not lie about anything, it is so refreshing. So refreshing. because men lie out of fear of what somebody will think or what somebody will say, or out of fear of consequences of their mouth. When you lose that fear, lying is no longer an option. I have no reason to lie. Why would I lie about cops? Because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I got arrested. It was unlawful. I should not have been arrested to start with. But to be arrested, and I've got a grandson now. I mean, this was the first mugshot I've ever taken where I smiled. And I'm not happy about my messed up tooth from the weapons that they hit me with. But first mugshot I've ever smiled in, because I knew I didn't commit a crime. I did not resist arrest. I wasn't carrying a concealed weapon. I didn't break the laws. I did not do what I was accused of doing. Whether I'm found guilty of that or not, I know that I'm innocent. Not a doubt in my mind, I'm innocent. I did not resist arrest. I did not carry a concealed weapon. And the eagerness of the cop when they arrested me, trying to get me arrested, trying to charge me with pocket knives, because I had pocket knives. He tried to put that on. Having a pocket knife in the South, he thinks that's a concealed weapon. I mean, they were going to he was looking for a measuring tape to measure the blade on my pocket knife to see if that would get me too, because they had to make something stick. You see, in a cop's mind, contempt of cop is a charge. How dare you not lick my boots? Here's a charge. So there's the disorderly conduct, there's resisting without violence, resisting with violence. There's 3 or 4 different things that cops can get you with. And it doesn't matter, because like cops say, you may beat the charge, but you're not going to beat the ride. The process is the punishment. That's his whole point. He can give high five to all his pig buddies, and hey, way to go, we got that targeted citizen. How did he gonna speak out against us? We're gonna take him down. We're gonna cost him and his family money. We're gonna cost his time. We're gonna take away his freedom. Boy, I tell you one thing. If you find your self-esteem and your self-worth in taking someone's freedom away, you're a special kind of garbage. A special kind of garbage. Because let me tell you this much. Hardly ever is there a crime committed until a cop shows up. Did you hear me? It doesn't mean a crime's been committed. It just means when they show up, somebody's going to take the drive. I've never once in my life refused an officer to see my ID. Do you know that? And this time, I still did not refuse to show him my driver's license. I didn't. He said, you don't have a tag on your car. I said, look back there. He said, you don't have a tag on your car. Give me your ID. I said, walk 3 feet back and see, because I know my trucks. I just saw the bumper of my truck 5 minutes earlier, and 5 minutes earlier, my tag was on my truck. I put the bolts in that tag to hold that tag on, so I know that tag's not coming off my truck. That's the system we're in there. Because the system always backs the corrupt law enforcement. And just like if you've never heard my definition of qualified immunity has to be removed. It has to be gone. The states like New Mexico, I believe they took away qualified immunity in New Mexico. When they took away qualified immunity, the abuse of the citizenry, boom, it almost stopped. All police corruption is like, oh, we're gonna get in trouble now. We can't do it now. So it brings change. But here's the explanation of qualified immunity in a judge's mind. A judge's mind. A cop gets in front of a judge, says, Your Honor, this cop is just too gosh dang stupid to know what his job is, so you should give him qualified immunity. That is the argument for qualified immunity. He's just too god dang stupid, Your Honor. Cover him. And the majority of judges will say, okie dokie, you're too dumb. And it is a fact. Whether cops want to admit this or not, I've seen the paperwork. If they have too high of an IQ, if they pass the test that they take, if they pass them too well, they won't hire them for that job. For patrolmen, for walk-on cops, to be on the road or walk a beat, they don't want them smart. They want order followers. They just want somebody that can be a robot. Disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, put your hands up, ID, 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 ID. That's it. That's all law enforcement wants for their officers. Be dumb, be direct, yell and scream, and get your way. That's it. Nothing about the rule of law. There's nothing about the Constitution. They don't care about the Constitution. Sean Paul Reyes had a video today where in New Jersey at a town hall meeting, the city manager was in front of town hall and he outlawed the Constitution from being held in a city meeting. He outlawed an American flag. Of course, he's from Indian descent. And the mayor in that town, Joshi, who's been accused of rape now, he's of Indian heritage. Why is it all these people from other nations come here and get jobs in our city governments and they're the first ones to violate our rights? Because they don't have the same values to free speech that we held. They don't have the same values to the First Amendment. They don't hold the same care and love for the Second Amendment. Our rules and our statutes and our Constitution mean nothing to these people. They do not understand the Constitution was made to keep them in line. That's why they've wrote 44,000 laws to keep us in line. That tells you how powerful the Constitution is to keep them in check versus the 44,000 laws meant to keep us in cages. That's a problem. And I'm going to keep fighting best I can. Thanks so much for being here. God bless. Have a good day. Pray for me and my family. Pray. I got court Monday. To show up and go, I guess, because I haven't talked to my lawyer yet. She still hasn't seen me. So keep praying for me. It's really taken a hard toll on my health. It has messed up everything in my body, my sleep, everything. My whole life is turned upside down by this. This is so much stress. I can't even articulate. It is literally, it's messed up how I eat, how I drink, how I sleep, how I take a dump. This has messed my whole system. I've had a perfect system, a perfect plan for my life, a perfect schedule, and they dropped a freaking bomb on my whole entire life because they want to silence me. So keep praying. Keep praying, please. God bless. Have a great day. Like, share, and subscribe.